Hi everybody, Sanban, and welcome to my channel. Do make sure that you are subscribed and also do like the stream. We are on YouTube and also on Facebook. I do ask for apologies, okay? Sorry, okay, I forgot to turn on the sound. But thank you so much, you guys, for joining me. We are going to talk about episode 12 of Real Housewives of Devon. Okay, better late than never. We are so late, but we are still doing it, okay, because we are still looking forward to the reunion. The reunion is coming soon. I think it's supposed to be like in 2 weeks' time. So this is like the first week. Last week was the first week without the episode. This is the second week. We should be getting the reunion next week, I'm thinking. Yeah. Anyway, you guys, I don't know why I'm not overly excited about this coming reunion. I think that the fact that the person that is supposed to be held accountable for some stuff is not going to be there. Two of those people are not going to be there. I don't know how the reunion is going to go, but the cast is saying that the reunion was lit. So we are going to trust, okay? We are going to trust the cast when they say that the reunion was lit, okay? So, but I don't know how it was lit when two of the people that were part of the season were not there, okay? But we're going to talk about that, okay? So, crazy, beautiful Lance was here very early, okay? Welcome, welcome. Also, just from the onset, I just want to say I'm side eyeing three potential culprits when it comes to the note. Minnie working with the twins, production, and, and I think Lo may know who wrote it, okay? Okay. Yabana, the note really like was confusing for me. My biggest initially when it was revealed the note, I thought definitely it was Minnie. Okay. But then when everybody was asking who it is, I thought it's likely that Minnie was going to say it's her if it was her, because all of the mess that Minnie has been involved in, she wasn't ashamed to be involved in the mess. So I don't think that she would do something like that secretly. So it was confusing for me that she wasn't owning up to writing the notes, even though I thought definitely Minnie is the one that wrote that note. So because of that, I feel like for me, the suspect is production. The suspect is production. It's possible that it's none of those women, it's production. So I don't know, you guys. We'll see, though. We'll see if they reveal at the reunion who wrote the notes. We want to know who wrote the notes, okay? Says Corner, it was me, Niloa Devil. Nami, I suspected Umini, but I just think that Umini would have said that it's her, okay? At some point when they were looking around at the table, I felt like even her, she's curious about and wondering ubani who wrote the note. So I was like, is it possible that it's her? She doesn't want to say that it's her. I don't know, you guys. From how Umini has been this season, I don't think she will write the notes and not say that she wrote the notes. I think at some point she was going to say, because she talks too much, okay? I think at some point she was going to say that it's her who wrote the notes. So I just think that it is production. Okay, we will see. Okay, everything will come out at the reunion. I hope, you guys. I hope that they are planning to tell us at the reunion who wrote the note. Okay. Now, you guys, they are still at the trip. The ladies are still having fun. And let me just do this. Let me see how it is like this. Yeah. I think it's better with my eyes like this. Yeah. So they're still at the trip, you guys. Nonku is the host of the trip. And in this episode, this is where things become shaky with the friendship between Nonku and Jojo. Honestly, you guys, I didn't want to see their friendship end, but this is the beginning of the end of the friendship between Nonku and not Jojo, because I do think that it was kind of a betrayal for Nonku to speak about a friendship yakhe not Jojo with Usorisha and Londi London. And I think that Jojo, when she sees it, she's not gonna be happy to see Unonku talking about their friendship with with the people that she doesn't regard as friends. Okay, now they are going on a pirate boat trip. Okay, they are not impressed with this boat that they're going on. Is it a ship? Is it a boat? I don't know, you guys. It just looks like it might fall apart when they are somewhere in the middle of the sea or something. So, and no, go ahead, book them there. Listen, you guys, they were supposed to be having fun on this boat trip, but it wasn't. There was no fun because it was that whole thing of now the newbies are like one group, and then the oldies, the OGs, the oldies are in on one side. So it's Sorisha, it's Londi London, it's Jojo is like kind of part of the group, kind of not part of the group, and it's Nonku. And then Ulo is somewhere in the middle. Okay, Lo is like a newbie, but she's not really supporting what the newbies are doing. Okay, and then with the newbies, it's the twins. It's Umeni, okay, the ringleader, and then it's Angel, you guys. Like, I forget sometimes that there is Angel. I think Angel did so well last season to like keep you remembering that she is there. But this season, I don't know, you guys. I don't know what did Angel do this season. What did Angel do this season? I don't know. She disappeared into the crowd of the newbies. Okay. And I really think Angel should have been with the OGs because she has been around. She's experienced in the game of the reality TV, and she chose the other group that was acting very immature and acting crazy. Okay. So I don't know, guys. Sometimes I forget that Angel is there. Now, here is the thing, you guys. I did say last week that I do like the twins standing up for themselves. Okay, umuntu mekusukela, you should be able to say, "Listen, I'm not the one." But I don't like the fact that they can only do that behlohliwe, because obviously behlohliwe or at the boards, all of the things that they were saying, they were even saying usulondo uyabadakelwa. I'm like, girl, like if you're going to say that to somebody, just say it directly, not as not when people are talking. Because I was trying to figure out ubani lo othi uyasidakelwa. Is it this twin or that twin? Is it Fafa? Is it you understand what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing impressive about you saying something in a crowd where we are not even going to hear what you are the one that is saying it. If ufuna ukusho kuLondi London ukuthi uLondi London uyakudakelwa, just stand up and say Londi London uyangidakelwa. Okay, don't wait for the noise when everybody's now saying something. Now again, now all of a sudden, now their voice, now so uyakwazi ukukhuluma, now so uyadelela now. So I wasn't impressed with the twins because of that. I felt like if they wanted to sort things out with Londi London, or Londi London, they should have done that on their own. Don't wait for the crowd. Okay, I felt like whatever it is that they were doing at the boat is because these ladies are having meetings, obviously, away from the cameras where they plan. London. And it feels like that, you guys. It feels like that, okay? So now there is this thing, many are obsessed ngayo, where she is saying that the other ladies are plastic, meaning that they've done a lot of plastic surgery. But the thing is, when she is saying that, she's mostly referring to Ulondi London, you guys. I don't know, maybe I must have missed it, okay? Because my understanding is that isn't Londi London is angempela. Okay, I know people have been to Turkey, but I believe that London London hasn't been to Turkey. So I'm just wondering, Ugutumini, what is it about Ulondi London that she is saying is plastic? Because I haven't seen a lot of plastic surgery situation with Ulondi London. But Umini keeps repeating the thing, Oguti, the other ladies are plastic, but mostly referring to Ulondi London. She really has an issue with the way that Ulondi London looks, and it bothers her. And I don't know, you guys, okay? But I don't understand the whole thing of her saying that they are plastic. So Angel was trying to correct them to say, guys, let's not do that, because that's something that was done last season. We were corrected on that. We made, certain comments about Maria's lips and, about Nonku's lips. And we were corrected on that because that's body shaming. So let's not do that. This is when the twins, Umini, Ufafa, they are together talking about Lonely London. Okay. Now Angel was just trying to correct them to say, guys, let's not do that. Okay, I've done that and I got backlash for doing that. So let's not do it this time. But they were not listening to her. Okay. Now, you guys, when they were on their way to I think they were on their way to the boat when the prayer thing happened, you guys. Okay. When they're on their way to the boat, because that's what starts a fight between Nonku and George. So the OGs and Lo are traveling together in the car. At some point, somebody decides that they must pray together. Okay, they pray because obviously Ulo mamufundisi ulapo, Nononku umfundisi. Okay, so they pray. Jojo is looking at them like, nithandazani nina nisazolwa nje. I understood Jojo, guys, because I think honestly she was right. Vele bebesazolwa later. So she was like, what's the prayer for? Then after the prayer, they're like, guys, okay, let's be sisters keeper. Okay, let me be your sisters keeper. You understand? From now on, okay, let's be our sisters keeper. I'm like, nonsense. Okay. So obviously, even Jojo felt the same way. So Jojo just laughed because Jojo has this thing where she says that the women say something else, but they do something else. They're always talking sisterhood, but then they don't support each other. Okay. They talk about each other in a bad way, but then they'll be saying that they are working on a sisterhood. How can you be praying for sisterhood, but a few minutes later you are going to be attacking the very same person? I understood Jojo where she was going and why she was laughing. But obviously, everybody in the car took offense to the fact that Ujojo laughed. Okay. But here is the thing, instead of everybody addressing the whole thing at the same time that it happens, they waited until later on. Okay. So later, when Nonku is sitting with Usorisha no Londilandan, that's when now Nonku. Okay, I felt like baby Shoshana, honestly, you guys. I don't think that Usorisha no Londilandan care about Nonku and Jojo's friendship. Okay, I don't think they liked that friendship. And I think Unonku, if she was intelligent, she should have seen that these people don't care about my friendship. Okay. Because it's not like Usorisha wants the friendship Kanonku no Jojo to blossom. Okay. She would like for it to end because it irritates her. It irritates her the fact that she can't just deal with Jojo alone. She can't just deal with Unonku alone. So that whole thing of Usorisha no Londiland and asking Unonku, does Jojo pray with you? Guys, listen, okay. How many friends you guys have? Okay, good, okay. How many of those friends do you pray with all the time? Okay, I don't remember the last time I prayed with my friends, but I know that my friends pray and I pray. Okay, does that now mean that I'm not a good friend to my friends because I haven't prayed with them in a while? We don't even go to the same church. Okay, I don't even know the things that they do in at the churches where they go, but still they are my friends. So the whole thing of, has she ever prayed with you? And that is so important to you. Religion, okay, spirituality is so important to you, and she's never prayed with you. I felt like Usorisha no Londilanan were just being messy. Okay. Bebe Shosha Unonku so that she feels a way about her friendship with Ujojo. Okay. And then Unonku answered because Unonku I can be messy. Unonku was like, no, she hasn't prayed with me. And I was like, she hasn't prayed with you. Okay. So Unonku ended up saying that she was also offended by Ujojo laughing in the car about them praying for the sisterhood. And she feels like she's not free to express herself, when it comes to her faith, when it comes to her spirituality with Jojo. She doesn't know where Jojo stands, and she does not know if Jojo even understands the prayer. Okay, she is saying this in the diary session and saying this to Sorisha Nolondi London. I already know, you guys, that when Jojo sees that, she's not gonna like it, because if you are friends and you feel a way about the friendship, you should speak to the person who is the other part of the friendship, not you talking to people that don't really care about the friendship. So that's why I saw that it's going to be a problem. The fact that Unoko spoke to other people about their friendship. Okay. Now, you guys, when they are going to the boards, the ladies are carrying their designer bags, okay? But none of the ladies are carrying the bag that Ujojo gave to them as a gift, okay? And I also didn't understand why that was a big deal, because I don't remember Ujojo saying that everybody must carry the bag, but they said that Ujojo had said that at some point, that people must carry the bag. Angel is like, you are not going to give me a gift when do I carry the bag? I'll carry the bag when I carry the bag, okay? And also, the other ladies were saying the bag is a fake designer bag, okay? And I don't do fake, okay? So Risha said, well, see, she doesn't do fake. I think Londilanan had said she will re-gift the bag, but Nonku said she will carry the bag, just not today. I do think, you guys, that Ujojo was hurt by, the fact that nobody carried the bag. But I just felt like, I mean, it might not have been appropriate, or it might not have matched their outfits that day. But I do think that some of them might carry that bag, because we do know that some of them don't have money like that. Okay. They will carry that bag at some point. They just didn't want to carry it to the boats. Okay. I do think that Jojo's feelings were hurt a little bit, that people did not appreciate her gift as much as she thought they were going to appreciate it. Okay. Now, here is a thing that I didn't realize. The whole situation of Jojo giving everybody the bag, basically, she was trying to reverse that whole situation that happened with her and Umabusu, that we all had kind of forgotten about. Well, we didn't forget about it, but we were just ignoring it, okay, for now. Okay. Remember when Jojo joined the group and Umabusu was still part of Real Housewives? And Ujojo had assumed that Umabusu was carrying fake bags, because she said that she does not understand where Mabusi gets the bags. Okay. She was like, you are not married. You don't have a rich husband. Where do you get the bags? And Mabusi was like, listen, honey, there is something called JOB. Okay. There's something called waking up in the morning and going to WOR. Okay. Some of us do it. Okay. So some of us can buy ourselves expensive bags. We don't need a husband to buy ourselves an expensive. So you can't assume, just because I don't have a rich husband, that I'm carrying a fake bag. That's not the thing. Okay. So from then, you guys remember, that's when we realized that, you know what, Ujojo might be classist. Okay. Because how are you going to judge somebody just because they're not married to somebody rich? Now they can't have anything that is expensive just because they don't have a rich husband. Now the bag must be fake. Okay. So now she gave the gift to the other ladies, the fake bag, to show them that it doesn't really matter if you carry the fake bag or not. The thinking behind it, it's like I get it, but not really at the same time. Okay. But she was trying to reverse that whole situation to show the people that, listen, you guys, I'm not classist. Okay. The brands are not that important to me. The expensive brands are not that important to me. Here is a nice bag. It's a replica, but you can still carry it. It looks nice enough. Okay. I've seen Jojo doing Shin thing fittings and stuff, the order and the unboxing and stuff. So she definitely does wear cheap clothes. Okay. She definitely does carry cheap bags. Okay. But then when it comes to jewelry, she wears expensive jewelry. That's what is important to her. So I felt like she wanted to reverse that whole thing where people thought she was classist because that's how she interacted with Umabusu, where she felt like Umabusi couldn't possibly afford an expensive bag. How can you afford an expensive bag? You're not rich, okay? And you don't have a rich husband. By giving the ladies the fake cheap bag, okay? Now the ladies were not appreciating the bag, and now she was emotional about it, but she was trying to say that she's not emotional about it. It was crazy, you guys, okay? It was crazy, okay? And you guys, listen, I do feel like Jojo this season, I do like the fact that even though she's struggling to express herself, but she's staying. Okay, Agatigili, she's not going home. She's not calling her husband to come fetch her. So even when things are difficult, she stays. Okay, because there was a time where I felt like, oh, Jojo is going to be like to the producers, listen, I'm getting off this boat. I cannot be here right now. Okay, so this season, you guys, she really was showing up for work, and she was staying for scenes, and she was staying for scenes that were uncomfortable. Okay, the boat was uncomfortable for Jojo, but Jojo stayed for the whole ride. Okay, at some point she was crying, and I didn't even understand why Jojo was crying. Okay, her biggest complaint is that the ladies don't give her a chance to speak. I feel like when there is a group, like a big group of women, you just have to force your point in there, girl. Okay, nobody's going to, people are not going to talk and be like, okay, now it's Jojo's turn. What do you want to say? Especially Maguguti, it's like a group of women. People will be saying what they need to say. So if your voice is not loud enough, sometimes you might end up not saying what you want to say. So it's almost like Jojo wants them to give her the opportunity to speak, but that's never going to happen. Okay, you just have to scream the loudest, and then they will end up listening to you. So her biggest complaint was the fact that she feels like they don't give her, a chance to speak. Okay. Now they get to the designer theme situation. Remember, Lonely London had said that they need to wear the designer, swimwear to come to her party. Okay. Now we are finding out on the boat that the ladies, after Lonely London announced the party, announced the theme, the ladies spoke, okay, on the phone, all of them, group text or whatever, okay. I guess there are voice recordings, okay, where they agreed, including Nonku, okay. I'm not sure about Sorisha, but they say it was all of them. They all agreed that they were not going to go and buy the expensive brands that she was asking for, that Lonely London was asking for. They all agreed. But when they showed up at Lonely London's party, some of them showed up wearing what they were required to wear. Okay. So now what they agreed on the phone did not happen like they agreed on. Okay. So they were trying to make a point to Lonely London by not showing up wearing the expensive brands. So they could have gone and bought the expensive swimwear or whatever, but they chose not to because there was something that they discussed as a group. Okay. And the Lonely London found that out on the boat that that's what had happened. Okay. So when the other ladies now showed up, because they were like Unonku was wearing something, I think it was an expensive brand that she was wearing, because Lonely London didn't have an issue with it. Sorisha, was Sorisha there? Sorisha, then Jojo was wearing, was it jeweler something, okay, but she didn't have an issue with Noko, she didn't have an issue with Jojo. The problem was the twins, okay. So the twins ended up now looking like they just did something that was not discussed, when they had agreed that, no guys, we are not buying anything new, we are just going to wear whatever we want to wear. Okay. So I guess that's why the twins were upset now, because it was like, guys, but we agreed because we are not going to wear the brands that this lady asked for. Why are you wearing the brands? Okay. Now at the boat, um They are now discussing the whole thing of Londi London now, pointing at the twins and saying the twins were not okay to stay at the party because of what they were wearing. Okay, which I agree with. I agree with the fact that the twins should have worn their brand. Okay, I think if you've got your own clothing brand and you are doing a show as big as Real Housewives, it does not make sense to wear any other brand than your brand. Just wear your own clothes. Okay, it's free advertisement, so it wouldn't make sense for you to wear any other person's brand. Okay, so I agree with the twins deciding to wear their own brand. However, we are finding out that it was something that was discussed with the group that they were not going to go and buy the brands that Londi London had asked for. Now that's why now they are feeling like they are betrayed by the OGs, because when the OGs showed up, they had you know, they had the expensive brands. Nonku says, listen, okay, I have these things in my wardrobe, okay? I only have the expensive brands in my wardrobe, okay? So I didn't go and buy something new. I took it from my wardrobe, but it was an expensive brand. Of course, okay? Even Sorisha, if she's going to go to a wardrobe, it's going to be an expensive brand, even if it's not new. So, you know, now Nonku goes into this whole thing to say, Guti, if they are being honest, Vela, when it comes to the show, it does hanging out with the ladies does put you under pressure, to buy things that you wouldn't normally buy. Okay. Listen, you guys, I feel like, but you must have the money, because if you don't have the money, even if the show is pushing you to buy something, if you don't have the money to buy it, you're not going to be able to buy it. Okay. The fact that you end up buying it means you can afford. Okay. But in a situation where you cannot afford it, you are not going to buy it because you're not going to have the money to buy it anyway. Okay. So, anyway, you guys, now the exchange between Umini now, the twins, the Londi London. When it's happening, it's very difficult now for Londi London and the twins to sort out their issues because everybody is speaking at the same time. Whatever Londi London says, they're answering. Okay. I just remember the comment, okay. Londi London is trying to explain the theme. They're not understanding it. I also don't get it, you guys. I think if you have a theme that forces people to spend money and spend a lot of money, it's a problem. But at the same time, you guys, I'm not on Housewives and I don't hang out with people that, wear those expensive brands. So maybe that's what people do. Okay. Maybe those ladies are supposed to understand. Okay. That if they say they want this brand, then you should wear it. Okay. You are on Housewives after all. Okay. We are assuming that you are rich. Okay. Now, you guys, Ulondi London says that it wasn't really about the designer clothes. Okay. She says that the conflict between her and Minnie and the twins and everybody is not really about her theme. She feels like it's about the fact that they just don't like the fact that she's there. And I agree, you guys. I feel like even if Fulon London had come and said, listen, my theme is that you must wear something from Pep, they would have had a problem with it. Okay? They would have had a problem with it because I just feel like Minnie doesn't like the fact that Tulon London is there. And the others are just supporting Minnie in the nonsense. Okay. So I agree that yes, her theme was problematic, Ulondi London. But I kind of feel like even if she had a different theme, they would have had they would have find like something else to have an issue with. Okay. So at the end of the day, they just don't like the fact that Londi London came as a visitor and then ended up staying as a cast member because she did so well on the show. I think that many thought with Precious being gone, she was going to get a spot on the show. She had a better chance of getting a spot on the show. Now with Londi London being back, maybe those chances were not looking good for her. And that's the reason she really didn't like the fact that Londi London was there. Okay. So at some point they call Londi London a slay queen. And Londi London is like, listen, if you call me a slay queen, it means okay. I do think Londi London we have a niece. Okay. Guys, listen, you can say anything about Londi London, but Muhle, Umi Gahle, she is loved on the show. She's really good for real on a reality TV show. She's good. Her diaries. I love her diaries. She's likable. She's lovable. She's likable. Okay, so you can say whatever about London, but you can't take those things away from her. Okay, and so okay, maybe she is laying. Okay, so then there was a thing where they call her slay queen. Okay, now when they are trying to resolve that issue, because Nonku now is trying to say, listen, you guys, I know we discussed the whole thing of us not wearing the expensive brands and all of that, but again, now we are trying to, create peace now. Let's have peace. We are on this boat. We are also doing the show together. Can we find a way where you, Minnie, and Londilandan can sit and have a conversation and maybe possibly move forward, maybe apologize for what you said and move forward. Remember that Umini said that comment about Londi London making money on her back and Yena on her feet. Okay. And can you apologize? Okay. Minnie says no, Londi London has to apologize to her parents. I was like, this woman is crazy. Okay. She says that London must apologize to her parents. And I'm like, so now you must apologize to London's parents because now you were saying you were not raised well. That's referring to her parents. Now London said, who gave birth to you? That's the same thing. You were not raised well. Who gave birth to you? So if Londilana needs to apologize to her parents, then you must also apologize to her parents. But the parents are not part of the show. They are not on the boat. So what are we going to do now? Okay. I did feel like it was very immature of her to not even give it a chance to just sit down with Londi London, hear Londi London out, and see if they can have an understanding so that there can be peace on a boat. Okay. But Minnie was not having it. Okay. And Minnie gets very irritated by anybody that makes peace with Londi London. So now she's irritated by the fact that, oh, Nonku, now they've made peace because all of them had agreed that they were not going to, do the theme Londi London. And I guess maybe there are other things that they said. Maybe they were going to try and get Londi London out of the show. I don't know, you guys. But there is something that they discuss privately without Londi London. Now, oh no, they are not doing whatever it is that was discussed as a group. Okay. So Risha is insisting that no, she wasn't part of that agreement. But Unonku admits, yeah, I was part of that agreement. But now me and Londi are okay. Okay, we've made peace. And I'm suggesting that you guys give her a chance the same way. Now, you guys, at some point, Londi London ends up crying. Okay. I was like, listen, it's a police situation. Like you can't, like, no matter how strong you are, guys, when people are just coming at you and they're coming and they're coming, at some point you are going to be like, listen, like Auntie Gwenzaga line, okay? She said, I thought it was a good example to say she feels like Twitter is right here. Because Twitter, especially when it comes to influencers, okay, people say the most horrible things to you on Twitter, but it's Twitter, okay? You can close the account, you can decide not to go on Twitter, and you can delete it, okay? But when people are saying it to your face, I could understand how she was saying that she was feeling like Twitter is right here, okay? Because basically Umin is saying all of the things that people say about her on Twitter, things that she doesn't feel like they are true, things that hurt her feelings, and she doesn't understand what's going on because she doesn't even know what the fight is about with Umini. Mini herself has said in one article that they don't have a history with Londi London. They do not have history with Londi London. They've never met before. There isn't anything that, because at some point I was feeling like maybe they have history, maybe they've met before, and maybe Londi London did something to Minnie, and Minnie is still upset about that. Minnie says that they never met. They don't know each other. They met on the show. Whatever it is that they were fighting about is only what happened on the show. So it's not like there's anything else that we don't know about, okay? So she ends up in tears, okay? Now, I felt like the tears about how overwhelming that situation was. But she said that she was mostly emotional about the fact that she is upset that she made the twins feel the way that the twins felt. She said she did not have any intentions to make the twins feel bad, when she was saying at the party, you okay, you okay, you okay, but the twins are not okay in a way that they were dressed, regarding the theme. And she said she's upset that now she can't fix it. She's not able to fix it with the twins, but she doesn't feel like the twins are bad people. She wants to be able to talk to them. Okay. So Risha arranges for Londi London to sit and talk to the twins. And without Umini, it goes well. Because I do feel like I'm a twins, but Delela only if they are behind somebody. Only when somebody is there, then bayadelela. But when they are facing someone, oh no, you're so right. I feel you. I hear you. No, I understand. We misunderstood each other. Okay, let's hug. Yeah, they are like that. But then masabe nomini, aye, we are stagel alone. It's like queen. How? Twins. Kanjan manje. So they are like that. It's almost like they are followers. They are followers. So to really get Ama twins on your side, you have to get them without the people, because if other people are there, then they're going to follow them. Okay. But I think it was good to see what the twins were willing to listen to Londi. Londi was able to apologize now, but they were able to express what made them upset about that situation. Guys, I can't tell who is who with the twins. Okay, that's why I just said the twins. Okay, I don't know which one was more upset. I don't understand. I don't know which one left, which one stayed. Okay, but they're saying that the fact that Lord London was pointing at each person and saying, "You are okay, you are okay, you are okay," but the twins are not in what they were dressed in. They said that that's what upset them. Okay, but then yet they were able to make peace, which Minnie was not happy about. Okay, guys, Minnie, we are like. It's unfortunate that Umini is not going to be at the reunion. Okay. They say she didn't show up. Okay. I was hoping that it's a lie, but they keep talking about the fact that Minnie didn't show up at the reunion. So I guess we really are not going to even get the other side of Minnie, because I was hoping that we are going to be able to see Umini and hear her side of this whole situation and get a full picture of why she handled this season the way that she handled this season. And maybe at the end of the reunion, we were going to feel like, okay, now we get Umini. Okay. So with her not even going to the reunion now, it's like we are left just feeling like Minnie was just such a bully. Like she just came to cause chaos on the show and didn't even respect the viewers enough to show up for just the few hours of taping the reunion, just one day to tape the reunion. You couldn't show up after causing all of this mess on our favorite show. You don't even respect us, the viewers, to show up for the reunion so that we can get a full picture of what happened during the season. So I guess we are going to be left thinking Umini is a bully, because I think that she is a bully. Okay. I imagine ukuthi Umini at school, she was one of those girls ababhulisha abantu, and then they have iqembu esikoleni alihlale libalandele. Yabona labo bantu esikoleni abahlezi belandela. Bathi wena asabe siyombamba. Yabo, ngathi she was that girl. So now that picture is not going to go away, because akafikanga kwi-reunion, as they say. And so we're not going to get anything different. Okay. So for me, she will be having Mina, I'll be having that picture of Umini being a bull on the show. She caused the chaos on the show. And if she did not show up for the reunion, it's unlikely that she's going to come back next season, because that doesn't make sense. I mean, if you don't make time for the reunion, why would you want to come back and next season? Okay. Now, you guys, now let's talk about Ulo, not Jojo. Now, I do think that Lo and Jojo can be friends. Ne? However, I feel like with a friendship can Nonku no Jojo ending, it might feel to Ulo that Jojo is replacing Nonku with Ulo. But I felt like they are connecting, because they were talking about the fact that Ulo is that person ongafuni ukuthi, because Ulo against his friends with Londi London no main, but she was like, I don't want to involve myself when you guys are fighting because you are adults, you're saying things to each other, sort it out. But now they want her to take sides, and she's saying, I don't want to take sides. I like both of you are my friends. You should sort it out. So she is getting into trouble for just staying away from trouble. Okay. I like Lo, you guys. I like Lo. I think I'll be disappointed if she ends up not coming back next season. I think it was heavy for her that the people that are close to her were fighting, but I think that she handled it the best way that she could because she just didn't want to be in the mess. Okay. And people were upset that she's not in the mess, which I didn't understand. Listen, you are adults. If you want to get in the fights, then get in the fights. Okay. Why should you get in the fights and then you are looking at me to help you in the fights that you started? It doesn't make sense. So when Jojo was hanging out with Ulo, I felt like they understand each other, because this season Jojo also was trying to not be in the mess. She was trying to be that person that is peaceful. Jojo's only issue this season was that she is trying to speak, but she's not being heard. Okay. Listen, you guys, I do imagine that because you know I think that Black women, we do not struggle to raise our voice, okay? Like we do not struggle with speaking up. And then at the same time, we are loud, not in a bad way, okay? Like I don't struggle to raise my voice when I need to raise my voice so that you can hear me, okay? Now, as a white girl with, you know, Black girls, okay, I can imagine trying to, because sometimes I'll be feeling like white people speak like this, like whether they are angry or upset, like they be speaking like this. Like I'm like, I don't understand how you are angry but you are speaking like this. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? So now imagine now it's all done to about 16, and then George is like, can I speak? Can I? You understand? So I understand how it's a lot for her. Okay, nobody's going to hear you, girl. Okay, so she has to learn to raise her voice. But there was a thing this season. She says that nobody lets her speak, but nobody is going to let you speak, George. You just have to raise your voice and say what you need to say. Okay, in the middle of the noise. They won't let her speak. Okay, they won't give her a chance. Okay, but I do like the beginning of a friendship between Jojo and Ulo. I just feel like it's going to feel like Jojo is replacing Nonku, because obviously Jojo and Nonku are no longer friends, and if they become friends with Ulo might feel like, okay, do you like me or do you just want to replace your friend with me? Okay, so we'll see how that friendship goes. Okay, so yes, so that's what happens with Lo and Jojo. Now you guys, listen, I do feel like with the dinner now coming, because okay, the boat was a mess. At some point Jojo was on the side of the boat because she was trying to stay away from everybody, but at the same time she was listening to them, and then when they mention her name she will misunderstand the conversation, so it was a mess at the boat. Now later on they are supposed to now have the dinner. Okay, they're supposed to have the dinner because it's the last dinner. Not only is it the last dinner at the trip, but it's the last dinner for the season. So it's a close off of the season, like they normally do. When they are closing off a season, they usually have dinner, and we usually get drama on that dinner because there's usually people that are fighting. But honestly, going to that dinner, you guys, remember, Londi London had made peace with the twins, um, and Unonku. Oh yes, I need to talk about Nonku and George. Nonku, not Jojo. Okay, I'll talk about that before the dinner. But I feel like going into the dinner, you guys, nobody was really fighting because Umini had said, Wuti, she's not willing to talk to Londi London unless Londi London apologizes to her parents. Okay, so that conversation was not going to be had. So if Londi London was not going to talk to Minnie, there was not going to be a fight. Okay. Now, Ulo is a peaceful one. Fifa was not fighting with anybody. The twins have made peace with Londi London, and Sorisha is not fighting. Honestly, the dinner should have been peaceful. Okay, this is the reason why I think production wrote the notes, because they felt like the last dinner was going to be too peaceful. Okay, because it has become a tradition on Real Housewives that that dinner becomes a dramatic. There was no reason for anybody to fight, because people had spoken, and those that did not want to speak had said they don't want to speak. So all that was left was for them to go to dinner, have dinner, talk about how great the trip was, and then go pick up and go home. There was no reason to fight, okay? But I kind of feel like production must have felt that it was going to be a boring dinner for the last dinner. Okay. Now, you guys, let's talk about Nonku, because I almost forgot to talk about this scene. Nonku and Jojo do have a conversation. Remember, Nonku is upset that Jojo laughed after they prayed. Okay. Then she went and met with Londi London and Sorisha. Does she pray with you? Oh my gosh, she's never prayed with you. Hmm. They were acting like they're concerned about her friendship with Nonku. They were acting like they want them to stay friends. Then she went now to talk to Jojo. She asked Jojo, they went, sat by the sea, okay? Because, they needed a peaceful place to talk. Now, when they are talking, Unoku tries to explain to Jojo how she was offended by Jojo laughing in the car, okay? Jojo is trying to explain. No, but you know why I was laughing? Because I think that it's a joke that you guys always talk about the sisterhood, but then few minutes later, you are doing the opposite, okay? And then Unoku is like, but you know that is my prayer. I was being genuine in my prayer, okay? Now, Jojo ends up apologizing. Listen, I apologize if, you were offended by me laughing at, in the car, okay? Then Unoko says, Usorisha no Lord London, they were asking me if we pray together. And then George is like, so you told them that we pray together, ne? And then Unoko says no. And then George is like, but we do pray together. Apparently, George and Unoko, they do pray together. But Unoko didn't say that to Sorisha and Londi London. And George is like, but you do pray together. Then Unoko goes into this whole thing, which I'm worried about your soul and whatever. Lapho Unoko ugqoke isiketi esingaka, ikhamera ibubuya iya back nje nesicishe sibone ngisho i-underwear kaNonku, but uNonku is worried about isoul kaGeorge. Hi guys, uNonku umfundisi ne was worried about Jojo's soul. Ngapha umfundisi sibona wonke ama-assets akhe la. I'm like, I don't know. Okay, some things are just not making sense. So Unoko is worried about Jojo's soul. I guess she wants Jojo to be born again. Okay, she wants Jojo to be born again. That's what I gathered from the conversation. She wants Jojo to be born again, and she wants Jojo, when she talks to Jojo about her problems, Jojo must pray with her and pray for her. And she just feels like they are not getting each other there. Jojo is like, we've had these conversations. Jojo, in between seasons, there's a time when she was sick. Okay, there was something going on with her stomach or something, or spinal cord. I can't remember, but she was admitted in the hospital. She says to Nonku, but we had this conversation when I was sick and I was in the hospital. Why are we having it again here? Okay, I feel like Jojo is feeling the betrayal of, why are you doing this for the cameras? Because all of this we have talked about away from the cameras. Okay, they end up having the back and forth. Nonku says, listen, you're not hearing me. George is like, you are not hearing me. Okay. And then Nonku walks away and Jojo stays behind, but then she decides to run after Nonku. It's like a real Joel, okay? Runs after Nonku and decides, no, we need to sit and talk. We need to talk about this now, okay? Now you're going to make everybody happy now with this friendship is ending, okay? They seem to have some sort of an understanding. They decide to go and swim in the sea, and Nonku baptized Jojo. Wamfaka uJojo manzi, and I'm like, is she baptizing Jojo without Jojo even knowing that she's getting baptized? What the hell is this? What the hell is going on? Wafakwa emanzini kuJojo, wabhabhadiswa uJojo, and uNonku was happy ukuthi okay, semseyivile uJojo yabo. U3 minutes ka brother Enigma mawushaya, uJojo is going to heaven. Okay, ukuthi uJojo kodwa akazi usibhabhadisiwe, uJojo uborn again, babhadisiwe, akazi kodwa uJojo ukuthi ubhabhadisiwe. Jojo doesn't know that she's now a born again Christian, baptized and everything. But Nonku has done the deed. Okay. Now, you guys, you see, when they were going to dinner, Nonku, Jojo in peace. Sorisha is in peace with everybody. London London is at peace with everybody except Umeni. And everybody else was okay. So you see, now when they're going to dinner, everything was fine. This was supposed to be the most peaceful dinner that we have ever had as the last dinner of the season. But somebody thought, no, that's not it. Okay. So Risha had done like a thank you card for Nonku, because Nonku is the one that planned the trip, remember? So she had done a thank you card and put it somewhere at the by the reception, I think, and asked the ladies to write something in the card. Okay, think about it. She asked them to write in the card. They didn't write in the card. Nobody took the opportunity to write in the card. That was an opportunity for the cast to be messy in the card. So Risha left it there and said, guys, can you write something nice for Nonku and say thank you for the trip? None of them wrote. Only Sorisha ended up writing in the card. This is why I think that the notes came from production, because the ladies could have put that message in the card, you know. They could have just put it in the card because they were asked to put whatever it is that they were feeling about the trip in the card, but they didn't. Okay. Now, when they are sitting at the dinner, one crew member comes, because all of them are there looking beautiful, and it was looking peaceful for, the peace doesn't last long on Real Housewives. Then this guy comes there with the notes, for the ladies that did not get the notes when they were coming. You remember when they first arrived in Mauritius, Unonku had the cards for all of them. So the ladies that did not get the shady cards, which was Sorisha, Jojo, and Who, and then Nonku. Okay. The other cards, even if we don't talk about them, they don't matter. The one that matters is Nonku's notes, okay? Anyway, they can find out who wrote that note, because it was like when they tear a page from those smaller notebooks, it was one of those. So they just need to find out what's in the crew, quick crew, that notebook, missing pages on a notebook. The person wrote that. Now, you guys, when Nonku reads her, her note, it was inside the card, Sorisha. Now there's a confusion because Sorisha had written just like light, funny shade about the whole thing of her being the queen and all of that, And Unonku now is thinking, Sorisha Pale, his message. Sorisha is like, no, I don't know anything about the message, okay? I only wrote the card. And Unonku is like, no, there's nothing wrong with what's written in the card, but the problem is that, okay, we don't get to hear what is on the paper, okay? But we only get to see the reaction of Nonku. Nonku is upset about the paper. He's like, guys, listen, okay? I know I've done things here, okay? I know I wrote some shady things on your cards when we arrived here. But, like, honestly, why would you write this? Okay. Now, here are the clues that I picked up when she was talking about that note. She talked about how she has made mistakes in the past. She said, guys, listen, I've made mistakes in the past, okay? Now, am I going to be punished for those mistakes forever? Okay, I regret the things that I've done in the past. I've said it, okay? Now, am I going to be punished for that forever? Okay, that's one clue, okay? The second clue is she directly I take production and say, listen, you guys, I'm tired now. I'm a person too. I am tired. Okay. I'm a person too. You can't be allowing such things to happen. Who wrote this note? Okay. Obviously, you guys, for the note to get to Nonku, production had to approve for it to get to Nonku, even if it wasn't production that wrote the note. So I understand her saying, listen, okay, you obviously knew about this. So that's why you are bringing it to me. Okay. Now, what was the note about, you guys? I feel like maybe it had something to do with the relationship with RD. Okay. I feel like that. I feel like it had something to do with RD. And I would say that possibly the fact that Unonko moved in with RD, and remember, RD was previously accused of an R. Because remember, when Nonko was dating RD, all of us mothers couldn't understand. How can you move somebody in the house that was once arrested for R and you have a daughter and young boys in the house? That does not make sense, okay? And remember, Unonku ended up saying at the end of that relationship that she feels like why is Lisiwe because now I guess understand how did she make such decisions. So I suspect that that note had something to do with that because she talked about a mistake that she made in the past and that people just won't let that go. Okay. That is just my guess. Okay. Who wrote the note? Initially, hands down, I thought umini obhalele notes lama notes wonke nje ngithe nje umini wabhalile lawo ma notes lawa. But then it was the first time that even Minnie looked like she was lost. Okay? Because the camera kept going around with everybody's face and I was trying to see and I was like, no man, not again. I mean so initially I thought it's Minnie, but I was like, I think for me, you guys, if I had to vote, I would say production. I would say production. Okay. They might actually ask one cast member to take a fall. They might actually ask one cast member, can you just say that it's you? Okay. Can you just say that it's you? But at the reunion, we do want to know who wrote that note. And we want to know what was on that note. Okay. And the thing is, you guys, we're not gonna find out because you know we totally not why wayidla. Okay. Ukube laba babefunda nami esikoleni mina besoyibona la nothi thina sasikwazi ukuthi into mawuyidlile kanjalo siyomise kahle sivule kanjena sibeke phansi siwahlanganise amanothi sihlanganise incwadi ihlangane incwadi sifunde. So I was like, yazi laba bayiyekile inothi nokuthi inothi bangayithatha. They should have taken it by ihlanganise. So now we're never gonna know what the note said because if it's production that wrote that and Nonku was that upset about it, they're not gonna tell us. They're not gonna tell us. If it's Minnie who wrote the note, we're also not gonna know because they're saying that Minnie didn't show up. So if it's true that Minnie didn't show up at the reunion, then we're not gonna know. Okay. Then the others, you guys, I don't know. I don't think that anybody Fafa definitely not Fafa, definitely not low. Okay. And no, I think it's Umin in the production, my only suspects, but mostly production. Okay. I don't think the others would have done something like that. Okay. And also, nobody really had an issue with Nonku at that point. It felt like they were okay with Nonku, except for Umini had a problem with the fact that Nonku was now friends with Londi London. So that's why I thought maybe it's her. But she really did look lost, Naya, when they were trying to figure out who wrote that note. So I don't know, you guys. Crazy says Angel definitely picked the wrong team. I don't know why Angel went with the newbies, okay? Because she just seemed like the newbies and she disappeared into the newbies group. I don't know, you guys, okay? I feel like Angel, okay, you're no longer the newbie. What the hell are you doing over there? Okay, you're supposed to be over here with the Crusaders, the blue Crusaders, okay? I don't know, you guys. I don't understand Angel. Okay, this season she just didn't do it for me. Okay, Minnie has been violent since school times. Tina Siamazi. Kubo is when a few roads down from my home. Kotlagele Leangane from Dal. I am not shocked. Shame. I'm not shocked. Mina, I thought from radio, I thought umini nje ucika ngokuphapha. I thought uphapha kakhulu. But then seeing her on the show, I was like, how umini? Hey, no. Londi aligned correctly. Not that she had a choice because Minnie came for her. It was really pre-planned, gang up. Yes, it was really pre-planned. It's disappointing though. Like those women are like adults. Like they really like yeah, some tall. I guys, I realize I said God. Hey Nandi, thanks for the review. Thank you for being here. Uyayihalela plastic surgery umini making slaying efforts. So I think I think we're jealous of how the other ladies look like. Angithi nawe ne-payslip ucakela abantu nge-payslip hamba nawe uyonameka nawe izinqe nani ususe umkhaba ususeni ubayeke phela. What are they supposed to do? Okay, if you can't afford it, if you can afford it, go and do it. Okay, she just has an issue. I mean, Fafa also looks like someone who doesn't fully agree with the new bully group but decided to stay silent. Yes, and Fafa didn't say much. But that's the thing, you guys, like on a show like this, you have to have an opinion. You have to have, it's almost like picking a side. You have to pick a side, ne? But when you don't pick a side, everybody has a problem with you. It's like Ulo. Because Ulo is like determined not to pick a side. It's like I'm not here, but I'm not here either. I'm just me. Everybody has a problem now with the fact that Law is not picking a side. Okay. People want to know, what do you think? Is it this one who's wrong or is it this one who's wrong? So with Ufafa was always with the group, yeah, my newbies. But honestly, yeah, I don't remember her saying a lot. I remember that when Nonku got upset, Ufafa said, listen, I hope that that note is not about her mother and it's not about her kids. Okay. And I was like, it's not Fafa. It's not Fifa because I think the note Kanonko had something to do with the kids. I think had something to do with the kids for sure. Okay, that's why she was that upset. Okay, so I thought then it's not Fifa that wrote. So that eliminated Ufafa for me. I'm sure Minnie would do plastic surgery now if she was given the opportunity. I don't think she will turn it down. No, she wouldn't. Okay, most people wouldn't turn it down if given the opportunity to do plastic surgery, especially the celebrities. Okay, so a person will have say negative things about it only before they are able to do it, before we know it. Says it was umuntu naye usethe kuyo wenza the very same things that the other people were doing and she was talking about them. So I think she would do it if she got the opportunity. Mina is a problem, guys, but I guess maybe she won't be a problem next season. Mina, I was hoping that she would show up for the reunion. And I think, you guys, if she did show up for the reunion, she was possibly going to come back next season because they do like the drama, guys. Okay. And all of the drama this season was mean. It was just like irritating drama. It was not like what that drama that we get and we're like, yeah, show, yeah, she's a but we drama is. But I felt like if she showed up for the reunion, possibly they were going to bring her back. I mean, because she worked hard she was auditioning. Okay, she was auditioning for the next season. So I do wonder what was the thought process for her not to go to the reunion. And maybe she just didn't want to take accountability because now you're going to have everybody there and the host will be asking you direct the questions and nobody's going to talk over you. When it's your chance to speak, you're going to speak. And also you are not going to get a chance to speak over other people. They are going to have to explain their side. And I guess she didn't want to do that. I do feel like she should have gone to the reunion, guys. I think it would have been great for her to be at the reunion. Jojo was 100% right. There's no sisterhood there. Kwamina, I would have said, yeah, right. Ayona ayikho anele shem. Ayikho ilokhuzana. Ayikho sisterhood. It's a delusion, Jen Woodsey, and then you're going to go on Real Housewives and build genuine friendships and sisterhood and support each other and support each other's businesses. They talk about your business. Pella, if they had sisterhood, guys, Precious would still be there. imagine what happened to Precious. Precious came on the show. They attacked her business, the way that she conducts her business, the way that she treats her employees. That woman was almost having anxiety attacks with everybody attacking her business. Okay, so there's no sisterhood, because if it was sisterhood, they would have called her aside and said, "Listen, we're really concerned about, I was at your shop." Maybe Minnie would have taken her out to lunch or something and said, "Listen, I was at your shop and this is what I had. And I don't think that it's right to treat your employees like this." And then Precious would get a chance to respond, okay? And maybe fix some things. Maybe be like, "This is what I'm suggesting. This is how I run my businesses." I don't know if Minnie has businesses, okay? But she can say, "This is how I treat my employees. This is how I handle it when I'm upset with my employees." That would be sisterhood. On the show, it's no sisterhood. It's like, hey, iy'nwele zakhe udayisa u-advertise iy'nwele ezinhle kodwa bese edayisa iy'nwele ezimbi, like that's not sisterhood. There's no sisterhood at all. The scene when Nonku was baptizing Jojo was I was like, is Jojo understanding that she's being baptized? Because as I was laughing, I was laughing, so I was like, is Jojo understanding that she's being baptized? Bamfaka phakathi nesigqoko sakhe, shame. Jojo is born again and she doesn't even know it, okay? Hi, Pamela. Hello, hello, hello. I think Nonku was already thinking about this, and Lon, this question was just a trigger. I think Nonku's new friendship with Bev may have opened her eyes to what Nonku is missing in her friendship with Jojo. Okay. You mean the question about praying? Okay. But I do think that she could still be friends. Like you can have friends that you get different things from that when I'm with this friend, this is what we do together. But when I'm with this friend, you know, so I don't know, you guys. Maybe it's because I did like the friendship kind of Kuno Jojo, and I didn't want it to end. Okay. And I really don't like the fact that it ended. But okay, what are you gonna do? Maybe Tina, when we thought that they were so happy together as friends, Bona inside the friendship they had issues that they were just not talking about. Because sometimes it's like a couple, okay? Who's the couple that is breaking up? Hungani and his wife. We thought they were a perfect couple. Now that they're breaking up, everybody's like, "Yeah, got a vele." The wife was what? Hey, got a vele. The husband. I'm like, how? Nini manje, because we all thought they were a perfect couple. Now all of a sudden the wife was horrible and the man was controlling her. So I guess even in friendship, that's possible that you look at a friendship, you think people are perfect for each other, but then bona within the friendship, there are things that they are not able to discuss, and so it then it could be no wedge between them until the friendship falls apart. Jojo just wanted Sorisha's approval with the bag situation because she isolated Sorisha specifically about not carrying the bag, even though no one else wore the bag. I think Londi was right. Yes, okay. Also, you guys, there is something in Jojo that really longs for Sorisha's approval, besides the bags. I agree with you with the bags. That when Ulondi London said, Jojo is just crying because Sorisha has a real bag and then she has fake. Now, but I feel like with George, there's something with George where she longs for approval, Sorisha. And it bothers her that they can't connect with Sorisha. For some reason, they can't connect with Sorisha. She longs for Sorisha's friendship and Sorisha's approval. And it bothers her. I don't know, you guys. Like, but they are always just missing each other when they are trying to connect. I wish that they could connect because I feel like for some reason it's really important to Jojo that they become friends with Sorisha, and it bothers her that they can't do it. Okay. Sorisha was carrying a real bacon, but Jojo's bag was a replica version of Kelly bag. A Kelly bag is created by the same brand that creates bacons. Okay, so then what's the problem? Okay, here is the thing. So Jojo can afford the real bag, ne? Can afford the real bag, not the fake one. Why would she buy the fake one? What was she trying to prove? Because she can afford it. We know Jojo can afford it, right? So what was she trying to prove in getting the fake one? That's what I'm trying to understand. Okay, I don't know, guys. I don't know about this bag situation. I saw the blue cute bag and I was like, that's a cute bag. Okay, I thought the bag was cute. Okay, they just said that it was a replica, but it was cute. All right. I feel like some of those ladies would be carrying that bag. Okay, I just don't understand why do the replica when you can afford the real thing? Because Jojo can afford the real thing. What was the point of that? Okay, unless it's really what I was saying in the beginning, that I feel like that Mabuzi situation, she's trying to reverse it. Okay, to say I'm not that person that thinks that it's important for you to carry the expensive brands. Okay, Bev from Ultimate Girls Trip and Cape Town Housewives. Yes, Beverly. Are they still friends with Nonku? Remember how Jojo treated Mabusi was the turning point for her and Sorisha's friendship. Oh, yes. It was the same season she threw water on Mabusi. I think Jojo really regrets how she can never move past that. But the thing is, she has to, because um I think Mabusi has moved past it. They even had something else, another confrontation last season. And then Mabusi also apologized for that. So even Mabusi messed up last season, apologized for that. She has to find a way to move. Yeah, I think she can't move on from it. I think she regrets it. But I think when you do a reality show, you have to get to a point where some of the things you do on these shows, you're like, listen, I did it. And, you know, I just have to do other, good things that people don't talk about that as much. Okay. But there's nothing she can do about it because, the season is there. She threw water on Mabusi. She said Mabusi is carrying fake bags when she wasn't. And what else are we gonna do? But yeah, I think you are right in saying that still bothers Jojo. Kodwa, even Leo real bacon is not so real. We now all know that brands are the same. Exactly. Okay. China Mall. Have you all forgotten China exposed everything a few months ago? Exactly. So this is what I was thinking, you guys. So those people that are buying those expensive brands, are they still buying those expensive brands that were exposed with the same amounts? That are they still spending a lot of money on those brands? The brands that were exposed. That, listen, this is the same. The one that you buy in an expensive shop is the same as the one you buy at China Mall. Are people still spending lots of money on those brands? What is the point of it if it was exposed like that? And how Sorisha has never been interested in being her friend since that bad season with Mabus. Yes, I do think, you guys, even Sorisha, like that whole thing of her making people clean her bags and stuff, I have issues with that. But I do think Sorisha has an issue with when a person mistreats people and she does not like it, and it's almost like she draws a line and then that's it. Okay, she's gonna be friendly with you, but then it's never gonna be close. Okay, so, and I remember that when the friendship was breaking up, there was a moment when Sorisha mentioned at the reunion that Jojo doesn't treat the crew well. Okay, I don't know if she was speaking to a crew member in some kind of a way, and Sorisha was like, "We don't treat people like that." Okay, so Sorisha does have an issue with Jojo when it comes to the treatment Yabantu around her. So now it's almost like then that wall was built then and it never went down. Okay, even though at the beginning of the season, you guys, I did think that Sorisha was making an effort to become friends with Jojo. Jojo was making the same efforts. Remember, even Sorisha went to Jojo's house, which we haven't seen in how long. Went to Jojo's house when they were talking about Jojo's health issues. So I think they're trying, but for some reason they just don't connect. There's something that is preventing them from connecting. Anele, oh, Bev, yes, the skipped my mind. Yes, Beverly. Beverly Noku's friend, China turned luxury brand markets on its head. It did. I'm just wondering if people still spend a lot of money on those brands, though. But I guess if you have money, you don't care. Okay. Mojo scenes with Boo Bear bore me so much, I skip them. With which one? I love Boo Bear. MSM. No, 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 no. I love Boo Bear. What do you mean? You don't like the scenes of Jojo and Boo Bear? I love Boo Bear and Jojo. It's my favorite relationship on Housewives. What do you mean? Her and Uncle Viv, okay? Even though we don't see Uncle Viv a lot, okay? Uncle Viv is busy, okay? Running South Africa because Uncle Viv owns South Africa, okay? Not just KZN. He's busy. But I like Pooh Bear. I like Pooh Bear and George. I love their relationship, I can't believe you guys don't like them. Hi, Nambuso. I can't believe you guys don't like them. So the ladies pre-planned the gang up and set up to embarrass Lonnie and then backfired when Lonnie started calling out people. Yes. So they planned it. But when it was time to back up the twins at the party, at the pool party, they didn't. That's why people were overly upset, and even the twin now left because when it was time for them to back them up and say no, 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 we decided that we were not going to buy anything new. They didn't. They didn't back them up. So as a group, they now remember the only person that wanted Londi there in the beginning was Sorisha. Okay. Noko didn't want Londi London there. Okay. And then the newbies didn't like her there because Minnie didn't like her there. Jojo didn't really mind her, but it's not like she was rooting for her to stay either. So it makes sense that they did come together to say, listen, we need to get rid of this one. Okay. It just didn't work. And we like to learn London. That's the problem. Meaning it said that the only people who were not part of the pre-planned gang up was Sorisha and Lo. Oh, so Lo was not part of it. What about Jojo though? So you mean Jojo part of it? That would be strange if Jojo was part of it. I was like, hey, I was like, hey, Real Housewives is becoming trashing, and Belondi is right. If Sorisha had set the theme, all the ladies would have found money and buy the design. Exactly, they would have. Even though it still be crazy that that is the theme, but they would have respected it. Every single one of them would have respected the theme had it been Sorisha's part. Okay, but yes, you are making such a good point with that. They would have. There would be no arguments about the theme. They would show up the way that Sorisha said they must dress up, whether it's expensive or cheap, whatever it is that Sorisha would set as a theme, everybody would have respected it, and all of them would show up on time, ready for the party. You know, I think yes, I think you make that's a good point. They would have. I agree. They would. They would have. They wouldn't argue at all. Maybe I just like the drama in these reality shows. Anyway, you guys, listen, I do need to go. Complaining about the designer. Remember Ninilix shading Kenya Moore's white fruit shooting. They'll cry real tears. Yes, to be honest with you, our franchise here, the shade is very light, Shame. The shade is very light. Okay. They overreact on things that are not so bad. Okay. The American franchises, they go in. Okay. When they come to your house, you have to be ready. How much did they shade Ushire when she was building her home? Okay. So yes, yo. They wouldn't survive them. Minnie is a real bully. They want to recruit anyone to throw stones and get upset when someone goes against the agenda. Yes, yo umuntu membu phakathi inside vele she sibe forced to actually see ukuthi mubi nangaphandle. Hey guys. And listen, you guys, I do have to go. I appreciate so much that you guys joined me. The conversation is so nice. I wish I could stay forever, but I can't. I need to check when the reunion is, but I do want to do a live where we talk about some of the things that we expect that they are going to talk about at the reunion, sort of like a countdown to the reunion. So if I do get a chance, I'll do another live before we get the reunion. But if I don't, then definitely we are going to meet here to talk about the reunion when it finally comes. Okay. Let's see how they do it. Londi London made a comment to say, listen, you guys, a lot of things did get revealed at the reunion. Okay. So all of the things that we don't understand about the season, of the things that went on in the season, we're going to get to understand them when we watch the reunion, because a lot of things get revealed at the reunion. So I'm hoping, you guys, that even with certain cast members missing, we are still going to get like a good reunion. Okay, so yeah, I'm hopeful. Okay, I'm hopeful. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching this live. Don't forget to like it, whether you are on Facebook or YouTube. Does like. Listen, on Facebook now you are able to send me the stars, so you can send me the stars. Okay, on YouTube you are able to press the thanks button and say thank you so much, you guys. Nginethanda kakhulu.